Morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Good. So like she said, I work in the fashion industry. I actually work in one of the world's largest industries. It's worth trillions of dollars, employing millions of people all around the world. I got attracted to the industry for the same reasons as I guess most people are. It's fascinating, it's trend-setting, it's got speed, it's got all the interesting things that you want out of life in creativity. It's full of drama queens once in a while, but there's also a lot of interesting and very creative people. I'm not one of the designers myself. The work I do is mainly to do with communicating fashion and making the business grow. Ultimately, actually helping the industry earn more money by making you all want something new. A new color, a new cut, or a new fit, because that's the nature of the business. And that's creating jobs. It's a good thing. It's creating jobs all around the world, from the cotton farmer to the shop assistant. However, lately, building the industry and making it make more money is not all I've been doing, because there's the flip side to it all. The fashion industry is also one of the world's most polluting industries. The usage of water exceeds most industries. For instance, like a $5 t-shirt uses 2,000 liters of water, maybe only to survive a few washes and wears in your home before being disposed. The amount of chemicals that we let into our rivers and our water and the underground is horrendous. The cotton is actually the second most polluting crop after corn due to the use of pesticides. And on the social side, we are exploiting human labor globally because we need to put cheap goods fast to market. So, there's a lot of room for improvement. My dad is a socialist. So is my mom. So I was brought up believing that we're all born equal. I was taught that it matters what I do in my life, how I think, how I act, and what I contribute with, and how my perspective is to the outside world. In my childhood, there weren't that many rules, but there were a few. One of them was inactivity, silence, and carelessness were not good. They were actually considered really bad, but to have an opinion, even if it was a rebellious one, was better than to have none. But I was growing up as a teenager, and when my dad came and said, "Come on, we have to march against nuclear weapons," back in the 80s, of course I replied, what does it matter if I go? There's so many other people coming. And he said, well, what if everybody said that? And I realized that then nobody would come. So the little things matters. That's what I was taught. I was taught that it matters if I divide my trash, if I save leftovers for the next day, if I collect my batteries, if I tumble dry or not, and so on. They taught me that it matters what I say, it matters what I read, and my perspective matters. And definitely it matters what I spend my time on. And growing up, then again, I was a teenager like everybody else. I loved fashion and parties and boys in particular. And, I tried to live my life as anybody else. But I think the fact that the sense of responsibility for my actions in the world and to be active, not passive, never left me. So when I joined the fashion industry, obviously, I have for some years been searching for a meaning. And learning about the impact of this industry to our planet made me realize that there might be something here that I could do, that there was something meaningful for me to spend my life on. And calculating what I said in the beginning, that the industry has a capability of making you all want something more, something new, a new cut, a new fit, a new brand. For some reason, it sneaks in, and subconsciously, all of a sudden you like purple. You had no idea, but all of a sudden you just need that purple pair of pants. And that kind of power to actually change your mind is super interesting. Because that means that the fashion industry might not only be one of the largest industries in the world, it might also be one of the most powerful. And then I realized that I might have found what I was looking for. So, what am I saying? That we should stop buy fashion? Just use what we have in the closet, reuse and borrow from somebody else? No, of course not, because I want something new next fall. But no, that would be the same as saying we should stop driving our cars, or taking the plane, or turning on the lights at night, or taking a warm bath. That's not leading us anywhere, but I do think we need to think about how we consume, what we buy, and how we use it, and how we get rid of it. We do need to think that we can use technology, innovation, and our creativity to actually make an impact. Because I believe that also as businesses, and as societies and individuals, it's possible to be doing well by doing good. So, if you're with me this far, are you? Yeah. So, how do we do that? I have to set one thing straight first. This is not going to be like a holy speech, not to buy fashion and so on. And I think also, none of us are ever going to buy fashion to save the world, period. We buy fashion because we want to look good, because we love the color, because we love how it makes us look, or how it makes us feel. But we can have a conscious choice in how we use it. And we can ask the industry to give us a sustainable choice. So there's a huge industry task here, and that's not up to you guys. That's one of the things I'm working on. To make the industry give us a sustainable choice, so you can have the perfect fit, the desirable, sexy dress for the Saturday night, in a sustainable, produced manner. But then, okay, you're thinking, great, it's up to the industry. We just lean back and we wait for it all to hit the shelves. But no. You and I, and everyone at home, as consumers, play a pivotal role in making this change happen. We consumers have the power to actually set this in motion. The fashion industry itself is in a quite immature stage regarding sustainable fashion and sustainable production. But if we as consumers start asking for it, look at the labels, ask the shop assistant, where is it made? What's it made of? Can I get some transparency from the manufacturers in how is it made? Industry will listen. Because ultimately, we have the power to make the change. If we move the money, we move the industry. That's a golden rule. And sometimes it might take a bit of a conscious choice from you guys to even choose an organic t-shirt over a conventionally produced one. If it costs $2 more, do it because it makes a difference. It sends a signal. And we need to kickstart this. For many years, I think, to me, sustainable fashion was organic cotton. It's kind of like the only, I think, concept that has been, broadly received. But actually, sustainable fashion is a lot of other things. Organic cotton, for instance, is equally water-consuming as conventional cotton. Of course, it's less in pesticides, but we have to look in different directions to find more sustainable solutions. And there are so many great new fibers out there, but you don't know them yet, probably. They can be made out of, for instance, leftover products from the food industry, like milk or corn. Another concept, for instance, could be zero waste. Not like zero waistline, of course, but zero waste in terms of cutting out the fabric. Normally, when you make a measurement for a dress or a coat or something, you cut off up to 35% of the fabric, and it's not being used. But if designers take on the challenge of actually making a geometrical scheme, they can use almost all of the fabric. And that's another way of approaching sustainability. So, what I'm saying is that it's many things. And there's many things for you guys to look for, not only the organic cotton, even though it's also a good thing. Another thing to sustainability is how we use the fashion we buy, how much we use it, and what we do with it when we're done with it. Actually, the environmental impact, if you look at the life cycle of a fashion product, the environmental impact is up to 40% is in your homes. It lies within our hands. How much we wash, dry, iron, or dry clean is 40% of the environmental impact. And that's quite significant. So you do need to consider to wear things one extra day, or maybe even take advantage of hand washing sometimes. Or did you know that wool is almost self-cleaning? If you have a woolen suit, hang it outside to air. Or even take it with you into the bath. I mean, not into the shower, but into the bathroom while you're showering, because the steam of your shower will actually clean it. If it has a stain, you have to rub it off, obviously. But there's a lot of things you can do instead of turning it into the dry cleaning. There's also a lot of other alternatives in the market right now. Vintage shops, flea markets, swapping parties, and so on. But not everybody wants to wear somebody else's clothes. And then there's something new on the market. And that is a new technology that actually enables us to recycle fibers. Take, for instance, these pants. When I'm done using them, and if nobody else wants to buy them, I can turn them in and have them recycled. They take out the threads, they take out the zipper, and then they grind and thread the fibers and make it into a new fiber mass that can spin a new thread and make a new textile. And that is highly energy and water saving. We just need the collecting system to work. I predict or hope that we, in the future, in our courtyards, will have bins. We have bins for paper and cardboard and batteries and glass. I want one for textiles. And then we could actually be self-producing, self-supplying in terms of new textiles, and that would save us do a lot of virgin cotton. I hope that we all in the future will see garbage as a resource. Do you know, sometimes global challenges, when presented, like we all know that our planet is, going down the drain, and we're using 1.5 of resources in planets, and scientists predict that in 2050 we will be needing 3 planets to keep our resources going. When you hear predictions like those, you sometimes become, paralyzed, because it's too overwhelming and it's too much to grasp. And sometimes, at least I feel that you go, okay, what can I do? What difference does it make if I do anything? Sometimes it even seems like the politicians don't have a clue or don't have a say, because it's multinational companies ruling the world anyway. But I do believe, because that's what I was taught, that we can make a difference, and that all of us have to look ourselves into the mirror and make the changes in our own life, because we can really make a difference. We need to do it jointly, of course, but we can make change. I sound like Obama. Yes, we can. But it can be also both easy and fun. And I want to share something with you, because I have a dream. That's another great speaker. I have an ambition. I want to create a movement, old-fashioned style 70s movement. I want to use the fashion industry as a communication tool to help us do better in the world. I want to have a communication that says it's fashionable to think. I want it to be a no-brainer to spend our money right and live our lives with concern for what's happening next door. And I want us all to feel that even the little things we do, all of us, matters. Because if you calculate, if we all do a little, it's actually a whole lot. And if you ask me, I think we're damn well obliged to do so. I know you can make a difference. And I want to make a difference. Because that's what my mama told me. Thank you.